Hey guys, today we'll be talking about upfront pricing. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Today, I'll be explaining how upfront pricing works and why it should matter to you as a driver. So let's take a look at my screen. So in this example, I'm going to use a 7-mile ride that took 15 minutes, and based on time of day and all the algorithm stuff, we'll just say that the passenger paid $16. So basically, upfront pricing is the new method that Lyft and Uber use now to charge passengers and also pay the drivers. The old way is kind of the old commission way is kind of what we called it. And so that way was a lot more simple. Is basically the passenger pays $16. Lyft takes a 25% commission, which would be $4 in this case. Driver gets paid $12. Nice, even, and very straightforward. But now what they've done is they've switched over to this upfront pricing method, which basically allows them to try and take more money. So in this example, same thing, $16. I use Lyft's pay rates for SF, the SF Bay Area. Uber is actually kind of varied depending on where you are in the Bay Area. But for Uber in SF, it's about these two rates. So we'll just kind of go with that. So Lyft's base rate for an SF ride is $1.65. The per minute at 99 cents for 7 miles is almost $7. And then 18 cents a minute for 15 minutes is $2.70. So in this case, you back out the commission, which comes out to be $4.67, and which means that Lyft is actually taking 29% of the fare and the driver gets paid the rest. So by doing this, just this one example, see $4.67 and $4, Lyft is making another 14% on their on this ride, just doing it in this upfront pricing method. And this isn't even an extreme case either. A lot of times you'll see rides where Lyft or Uber take like 40 or 50% of the ride. So you'll see this a lot of times in minimum fares or fares that are close to minimum. And that's assuming when you look into your earnings breakdown that the passenger actually paid $16. Because literally they can just put a number there if they want. And that's not necessarily what is actually charged to the passenger's credit card. Basically, the only way to verify this is if we were to ask your passenger, hey, how much are you actually paying for this ride? I would not recommend doing that though, because that might get you in trouble with the passenger, and it doesn't look good if you're driving them around, you ask them how much they're paying for the ride. That's just kind of weird and awkward. So in my calculation, I also included the base rate here, but in many of the rides that I've calculated, most of the time I'll just calculate the miles and the time. And for the most part, that number I get is always higher than what I get paid. So this means that Lyft and Uber are taking more money, of course, right? So why would they be doing this? Well, because they're greedy, of course, or they're losing money, or both. So it's pretty well publicized that both companies aren't turning a profit, but it's really because they're investing a lot into the future. Self-driving cars, carbon offsets, things like that. And now while that's great, it'd be better if they treated their drivers just a little bit better and paid them a little bit more, because they can definitely afford it. And it's not like this job makes us huge pots of gold where we can retire after a year, you know what I mean? So a pay increase would be nice and great for driver morale. And that would probably also help them not have like a 50% turnover rate year over year if they paid a little bit more, because like people kind of just realize they try doing this and they go, well, this is silly. I can't make a living doing this because you get paid peanuts. So that would be very helpful as well. So what do you think of upfront pricing? Do you think it's unfair, or it's just a different way to charge the passenger and the driver get paid? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.